Hey friends, it's Julie. Welcome back to Row & Co Farms, but not exactly. So I'm not going to look at you guys right now. I'm headed out to go help catch a bee swarm. So I wanted to give you guys the rundown of what I'm about to go walk into, so you guys will know what's happening. So I got a call from a friend of mine. She keeps bees at the local elementary school, and they had a swarm. One of their hives swarmed and is hanging out on the fence right around the playground at the school. So we are going to go over there. They do not have an extra hive, and so I'm taking an extra hive over to them to help capture these guys and see what's going on with the hive that they swarmed from. So we're going to check it out and see what we got. So let's see if we can help our local beekeeper friends. All right, guys, so I'm at the elementary school. I'm just waiting on my friend to get here. I'm dressed. I've got all my equipment set up. So I've got a little nuke hive here. That way we can go ahead and just drop these guys right into this hive. There's already some frames in here, 5 frames. So hopefully we'll be able to fit them right into here. And I've got my other equipment just in case I need it, but I shouldn't. And then this is just a nuke box, but it's just a cardboard one. So if we need that, we have that. Right, so we're about to head back, and we're gonna have to hurry because it's about to rain. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And I look crazy. I've been working all day, but this is how it works. People call you right when you're in the middle of something and say, hey, we got bees. So that's when you go. So here is our swarm. Yeah, look at that. So which, they came out of this one or that one? Okay. Well, you still have bees in there. So this is more than likely, this is just a swarm. They have split. So before I do anything with the swarm, I want to check and see where the swarm came from. If they came from this box or if they came from the other hive. So what we discovered after going into this box and looking in it is that there were no bees in this box. They had obviously died sometime over the winter, and the bees actually swarmed from the other hive. That's a good situation because now I'm going to be able to use this hive to put the swarm into. The few bees that you see around the box currently, they are just foraging for leftover honey and resources that they're finding inside this box that were left behind by the other hive that used to occupy it. So we went ahead and did a quick peek into the other hive just to see what the status was, and it was absolutely busting with bees. So the swarm definitely came out of this hive, and they are ready to be placed into a new hive. So let's get started getting them into our wax cardboard box. So what I'm going to be doing to catch this swarm is I'm going to be using my cardboard box, and I'm just going to gently try to scoop handfuls of bees into the box. That's really the best way to try to do it. They're actually pretty docile during the swarming phase because they don't have a hive to protect. But there's still a lot of bees flying around. They will still sting you, but they're usually not as aggressive as they normally would be. So I'm just continuing to scoop bees into the box as much as possible. What I'm trying to do is get the queen into the box. As long as the queen goes into the box, the rest of the bees will follow her in there. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here. Because they'll either all start coming back out up here, or they'll go in there. And it looks like they're coming out. See them crawling out? So she's up here still. A lot of faith. So we're just gonna have to see what these guys do. We've got a bunch of them still on the pole and a whole lot of them in the box. And there's a bunch of them on the ground over there. But I think the queen is in here because all of these guys up here are signaling for others to come. Of course, now there's the thunder and the rain is picking up. Not a good situation. Otherwise, this thing's gonna get drenched on the inside. So because of the weather, we went ahead and we're going to just leave this box sitting here and allow these bees to make their way into the box over the next few hours. And we're going to come back tomorrow and check on them and hopefully be able to install them into their new hive. Good morning, friends. It's Julie. Welcome back to Row & Co Farms. I'm going to follow up with you guys about our bee swarm yesterday. So you can see it's been overnight. We had rain yesterday afternoon, so we left this this makeshift hive down here on the ground. This is what's left of our swarm up here on top. So most of the bees have made their way into the box down here, and now it's time for us to take those out of there, and we're going to transfer them into this hive. So over the winter, we discovered that this hive either collapsed or was abandoned or died, and there were no more bees in here. So this is the hive that we're going to put them into. They did have a second hive out here. That was this one. This one is packed full of bees, and this is the hive that swarmed. So they ran out of room in here, and they made their way right there to that fence and then started scouting a new place to live. Now we've given them one, so they're no longer looking. So we're going to transfer these guys into this new hive this morning. It's a pretty simple process. We're literally just going to dump that box into the top of the hive. So I'm going to get suited up. We'll take a closer look up here at the swarm that's left, and then we'll get started. It's pretty chilly out here this morning. At least to me, it's about 50 degrees, so it's not the best time to move these guys really, but we are expecting the temperatures to get colder today, and we're going to have weather, cold, rainy, stormy weather for about 3 days. So if we don't move these guys now, I'm afraid that they will not make it if we wait 3, 4, 5 days before we can move them. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So let's get started. You guys want to watch? Let's do it. So this is the remaining cluster of bees. Right now they're just trying to stay warm because it's cold out here. So I may be able to get them moved too, but right now I'm just going to leave them alone and work on these guys in here. Looks like a lot of them. There were a lot on the ground. There are definitely not as many on the ground. There are a few stragglers here and there. You can see, but most of them made their way into the box. Great, so let's get them moved. So we're gonna dump these bees right into here, and let them get started building their way in this home. Let me go grab this box. This box is pretty heavy. I'm gonna say 4 to 5 pounds of bees are in this box. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna show you, but only for just a second. See all the bees in here? They're kind of clustered onto the walls. We're going to dump these guys into the hive now. What I'm having to guess is when I dump this in, I'm going to lose part of these because the hive, well, I want to make sure I get the queen in the hive. I believe the queen is over here. The majority of the bees are over here. So I'm going to make sure this clump gets dumped into the box first. A lot of bees in the lid, so we're going to get those guys in too. So basically now we just wait and hope that these guys can make their way into this hive quickly. Start to signal that their queen is in here. Like I said, this is not the ideal temperature to do this in, but it's only going to get colder here in the next few days. And so I really want to make sure that these guys at least have a chance to start in a new hive. I'm going to try to grab those guys off the fence too. Just to see, I'm going to just try to grab them into this lid and see if I can dump a handful of them in here. I don't know if I'll be able to though. I got a few, but they have already started, you can see they've already started making their way into the hive, which is perfect. You've got bees up here that are starting to signal to the others that they should come. And so the rest of them should start making their way into the hive now. Inside the hive here, there are already 10 frames with comb established. There are no resources in here for them right now. So the only thing they will actually already have is wax comb established. They're going to have to work really hard. We're going to leave food for them this afternoon so that they'll have plenty to eat and start to work on their hive over the next few days while the weather comes. But yeah, you can already tell these guys have started making their way into this hive. They know that this is their home now. I'm going to bring you guys in a little closer. So if you can see right here in the front, these bees that are doing these little hovers right in the front of the hive, those are called orientation flights, and that is them orienting themselves to their new hive. It only takes a few minutes for these guys to establish themselves in here, to say that this is their home, and they immediately kind of GPS coordinate where they're supposed to be now, and they start telling all the rest of their family members where their new place is. And so all these bees that are doing these little kind of figure 8 hovers here, that's them orienting themselves. And you can see, if you watch across the top, once my finger's out of the way, right across the top of the hive, you'll see all the little wings fluttering and the little heinies of the bees up in the air. That's them signaling to the rest of the bees to come here, that this is their new hive. So I'm very confident that our queen is in here. If we did not have a queen, these guys would not act this way. They would be a little more irritated and irate, and they would not follow because they would not have a queen. So I have not seen the queen, but at some point, hopefully, we'll be able to find her. We'll do a full inspection on these hives and we'll be able to find our queen, but I feel really confident that there is a queen in here. So hopefully this will be a really strong hive going into this year. So what I'm going to do in just a minute is I'm going to go ahead and put the lid and stuff on this box. That way they can start to warm themselves up, and they will continue to enter in here throughout this morning, and hopefully they'll get in here before our bad weather comes today. All right, guys, so that's all we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna leave these guys. They're gonna make their way into this hive now. They know this is home, so this is it. We're going to leave these guys alone. I'm gonna come back this afternoon, or my friend that was here with me yesterday, she'll come back out this afternoon and just make sure that these guys are settled in, but it looks like they already are. So I'm very happy with the outcome that we've had here today. So yeah, success. Thanks for being here with me today, guys. I appreciate it, and come back next time and see us here at Row & Co Farms.